guys, and welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So today is your January monthly tarot reading, and this is for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio, when I look at your cards, I see a lot of changes coming in for you guys during the month of January. I also see that there might be some fear around those changes, but don't worry about it because this is all good. And really the month of January is about, I suppose, looking at those changes and looking at them as being for your benefit. But I also look at potentially for you guys kind of taking the bull by the horns, taking those reins for yourself and kind of making a go of stuff for yourself and making changes. But I just feel that some of these changes are coming in because you want those changes, and some of them might be coming in because they need to benefit you. They need to kind of move you on to that next stage in your life. So I want to show you first the two cards, the first two cards that represent the month. We've got the King of Swords and we've got the Death card, okay? So as I always say, don't be worried about the Death card, because the Death card is simply about new beginnings, transformation, old ways of doing things, or, you know, an old life coming to an end, or, you know, the old way of living coming to an end, or, you know, something that potentially you guys already know is on the cards, okay? And we also have the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords is really quite an assertive, confident type of person. He's very kind of straight to the point. He knows what he knows and that's it. And he is kind of like no mess, very, very logical, looks at things from a very logical standpoint, and is able to kind of allow his mind to make decisions rather than coming from a heart-based feeling. I think personally, when I look at these cards, for some of you Scorpions during the month of January, you're going to be feeling a lot of confidence, okay, about a situation. You're going to be feeling quite assertive. You're going to be feeling like you really want to go out there and you want to kind of, you know, just take the bull by the horns. You're going to kind of go out there and you're going to say, yeah, I want to make this work. 2015 is a new year and I'm really going to sort of just be going for things. And there's going to be that kind of driven nature. But it's also going to be coupled with logic. You're going to be thinking very logically, very kind of strategically. You're going to be kind of making your plans and saying, right, this is what I do, and I'm going to think logically about what steps I'm going to need to do that. The Death card does also come in, so there's a change coming for you guys in January. This could be moving on to something, maybe it's moving house, maybe it's moving jobs. There's an end to something, maybe it's a relationship. If this King of Swords represents someone that you know that potentially some of you might be in a relationship with, maybe it's the ending of that relationship, and maybe some of you guys already know that's on the card. If it's not a person, then it's an energy around you, and I certainly think for some of you guys there is going to be that air of assertiveness and logic and kind of knowing that what you need to do, and knowing that you've got to go out there and do it. And even if you are afraid to do it and you are afraid of what 2015 is going to bring, these cards are really saying to you for January 2015, you know, you need to kind of assert yourself a little bit more and start feeling that air of confidence that you can do stuff, and that yes, potentially there's an ending of something on the cards, but this is really just a new beginning for you. So a new beginning coupled with your newfound confidence and assertion and all of that good stuff simply means that you're going to be able to start moving yourself on to the next step. And this was followed up with the Page of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands, it's all about lots of messages coming through, okay? So that's things like emails and letters and telephone calls. And because it's a wand suit, I have a feeling it's definitely something to do with the work that you do, with the career that you're in. I definitely think it's something like that coming in for you. And I think that there is a sense of fear still going on around that, because we do have the Five of Pentacles. And in this picture, you can see that there is some form of fear going on with these characters. There's also a sense of loss. And I think there will be fear around money for some of you guys within the month of January. You want this new fresh start, but you're worried about the money aspect of that new fresh start. So I certainly think there's some fear of it. But then when I look at this card, the Five of Pentacles, it's so funny to me because we look at one character here. Can you see this? There's one character, the lady, the taller character, who is kind of hunched over and she's looking to the ground. And yet we have the man on the crutches and he's looking up almost to heaven. And I think there is going to be kind of this dual feeling with you guys, that on the one hand you're fearful about new stuff that's coming in. You're fearful about the new road that you're taking in 2015 as from January. But then at the same time, there is that hope there. That is that kind of resolute personality, that resolute feelings that us as Scorpios do have. We're very driven, and we're very... once we set our minds to something, we really go and do it. It doesn't mean that we don't have the fear still there, but we really, if we really want to do something, we go out and do it. But the fear is still there. But as I say, feel the fear and do it anyway. So I certainly think with the Five of Pentacles, there is going to be a fear around money for some of you guys during January. I think that definitely coupled with the Page of Wands, there is new stuff coming in for you, new messages, something new and young that's starting up for you. For some of you guys, there might be a fear around that. Okay, and how am I going to make the money work with these new things that are coming in for me? But I certainly think that there is also hope there, because a part of you guys might say, I want to do this, and I'm scared about the money, and I'm a little bit worried about my financial state at the moment. But there is hope there that, you know, what if this really came off? What if this really did go places? So I certainly think there is fear, but it's coupled with a lot of hope at the same time as well. And also, this card says, the Page of Wands says, a lot of you could be considering your next move. So I think that would tie in with the Five of Pentacles anyway, when we're, you know, considering our next move. What move are we going to be taking? There's been the death of something in the first two cards, and having to feel confident and assertive and all of those things, along with knowing that you've got to move on to something else. But there is also at the same time needing time to consider your next move, and needing time. That's why I was saying at the beginning, there's going to be some strategizing, I believe, with you guys within January, and thinking about your next move, and thinking about how you're going to be kind of, you know, making those steps to whatever the new beginning or the new life is that you want to, you know, encourage and live within 2015. This card, the Page of Wands, is also about exciting ventures, fresh ideas, starting anew. So definitely we're on the right track with this. There are exciting ventures coming in for you guys. There's going to be, I believe, a lot of messages, a lot of information with those things. This card can also signify a younger lover coming in. Well, not so much a younger lover, but somebody who's younger than you, potentially coming into your life to help you with this, to kind of give you support in your new endeavours. So potentially it could be some of that for you Scorpios as well. But definitely there's new endeavours, there's new information, there's new messages surrounding that. There's potentially new offers on the card, potentially for some of you guys. I believe that some of you guys will be thinking about those offers. There'll be a little bit of fear around the money situation, but that won't last long, because obviously hope always overrides fear. So there's going to be hope at the same time. We also have, which is beautiful for January, the World card and the Wheel of Fortune. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for you guys. So things are getting better within January. We started off with you guys having to assert yourselves. That, you know, there's fear around this in January. There's a little bit of trepidation for the future in January with you Scorpios. There is the ending to something, which I believe some of you guys already know about. And there is also, you know, the feeling that you need to be confident around that ending, that you need to kind of say, okay, this is ending, but I'm going to kind of be brave about it, and I'm going to be confident, I'm going to really just kind of hold myself up, and I'm just going to go for it. I know that something is potentially ending for me, whether that's your job, whether that's your relationship, whatever the case might be, but you know that you need to be confident around that ending in order to move on. You know it's for your highest good. And with all the messages and everything that's coming in and the opportunities, when something ends, when a door closes, another one always opens, okay? So with the new stuff that's coming in, there is still that trepidation there. There is still that little bit of fear around money. But that's not going to last long, because there's a lot of hope with you guys. And I believe that it's the hope in January that really encourages the Wheel of Fortune and the World card. And these cards are really two very good cards to have together, because the World card is really saying that, you know, your manifestations are coming to light. The things that you want to happen are coming to light, okay? Things are gradually coming through for you. You know, the world is your oyster. You need to step out into the world, and you need to make things happen. And I believe that some of you guys will be doing that in January, okay? After having the ending to something, the fear around money, the fear around, you know, where you're going next, I believe that you'll finally start finding your feet. You'll finally start saying, you know what, this is what I do, and I'm actually going to try and make this happen. The World card, I think, is a beautiful card because it also talks about the arrival of lots of opportunities. So the arrival of things like your heart's desires, longed for rewards, total success and happiness. So there's a lot of happiness coming in with this World card, and this really marries up with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about things turning in our favours. So when we're experiencing one type of emotion, for example the fear that some of you guys might be experiencing at the beginning of January, and the trepidation and the kind of a little bit of stressy time and a little bit of worry about the future, and you know, where you're going to be moving next and what you're going to be doing next and that. And I certainly think that with your hope, with the hope that comes through with that Five of Pentacles, the universe is really going to be delivering something to you. So there's going to be a stroke of luck for you guys in January. There's going to be a turn of events for you guys in January that's going to be very, very positive. And along with the World card, it simply means that a lot of your desires, or some of your desires, are actually starting to manifest for you. So definitely I would say for Scorpio during January, there's going to be some form of a change coming in, something with the Wheel of Fortune that turns your fortunes around, that kind of the universe is delivering a message to you that, you know, you keep on this track of feeling hopeful and feeling positive and trying to feel positive, and, you know, really keeping in line with the universe and knowing that you can ask the universe and it will deliver, and it will deliver because it delivers through the Wheel of Fortune. So I certainly think for some of you guys there's a stroke of luck happening here in the Wheel of Fortune, and you're really going to be feeling on top of the world with that. And, you know, you're going to know that you can go out in the world and you can do anything, you can make anything of your life. There's going to be that sense of feeling unstoppable in a way, I suppose, for some of you guys in January. That sense of real hope, real completion, real enthusiasm for what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want to achieve. And that's going to be delivered to you through the Wheel of Fortune and through the World card. So this worry that potentially was starting with the ending of something at the beginning of the month won't last long, because the universe, according to these cards, is going to deliver some luck to you guys. And finally we had the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. Now the Nine of Pentacles is a really good card for money, okay? So your money should be stable by the end of the month, or sort of mid-month. It should be stable, okay? But this, I feel, will be through your own efforts. So a lot of you guys are going to be rewarded for a job well done, okay? You're going to be rewarded for, you know, just putting yourself out there and trying to make things happen. And potentially, I think with this stroke of luck with the Wheel of Fortune, it has something to do with how you earn your money, or how, you know, how you're actually making your living. And that worry that you initially had with money during January is going to fade for a little while with the Wheel of Fortune, because we do have the Nine of Pentacles, where there is some form of stability coming in financially wise. So I definitely think that this is linked to the way that you earn your money more than anything else. So there is a certain sense of, I would say your work, okay? So there's going to be lots of rewards coming through for the work that you're doing in January. And then the final card is the Ace of Swords. Now the Ace of Swords really does talk about, I suppose, dramatic changes coming in, okay? It almost talks about something that is unstoppable that has to come about, okay? This also talks about death, but again, it's the death of an old way of life rather than anything else. So it's the death of an old way of doing, an old way of life. This also talks about potentially some challenges coming in for you guys, but knowing that they have to come in because they're to benefit you in order to help you to move on. So it could be that through some of the work that you're doing, that's pretty challenging, and you're going to need to find ways to manoeuvre your way over that challenges, or to defeat them, or to beat them down. But it's nothing too serious. It just simply means that with this new beginning that's coming in with you guys, there will be some challenges, there will be some hurdles to get over, but you can do it. You can do it. And everything's a lesson, and everything's teaching us something. So really in January, there will be a few challenges and a few hurdles to get over for you guys, but you will get over them, and it's nothing that you can't handle. It's really just to move you on to the next, you know, the next phase of your life. So I certainly think, guys, that for this reading, it's brilliant for Scorpio in January. You know, there is the first half of January where there is some sense of trepidation for you guys. There is some fear there, and that's with anybody, because when we're moving on to a new sphere in our life, when we're moving on to a new phase, when something is ending or something's coming to an end, and we know that we have to move out of it, we always put our best foot forward, and we always know that we've got to feel assertive, and we can't kind of cower in a corner, and we've got to feel confident around that change. And there is, yes, some fear around money with the Five of Pentacles, but at the same time there is the hope that things are going to get better with you guys. Okay, there is opportunities galore coming through, because we have the Page of Wands, and we also have the Wheel of Fortune, and we also have the World card. So we've got 3 really good cards that talk about changes in luck, changes in fortune, and that, you know, good things are really coming in from the universe for you. And then we've got you guys by the end of the month really feeling a lot more financially stable than you did at the beginning of the month. Whether that's in your work or however that is, I believe it will be through a work situation. The Ace of Swords, yeah, some little challenges coming up, but nothing that you can't handle. It's just hurdles that you need to go over, and you need to manoeuvre yourself around as anybody gets in life. But that's to be expected, because that is life. You know, that is what life is. But yeah, a really, really, really good month, guys, for you. And I will see you on your next reading. It will be your February monthly tarot reading, and I'll be putting those up quite soon, to be totally honest with you, because my videos have been quite late because I've been doing the year ahead readings. But I'll be putting that up very soon in January, so you'll be able to get a glimpse into that for February as well. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and have a great day.